Hello and welcome to another edition of Addition. I'm your host, Addy Snowden, and I'm a big tech product manager, mathematician, futurist, tech optimist, artist, and creator. And I'm here talking about hot topics in tech, updates on the markets, career advice, and let you know what I'm geeked out about this week. So before I get into today's episode, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on IG and TikTok at Addition with Addy, all one word. You can follow me on Twitter at AdditionPod or at Addy Adawusi. I still need to update my maiden name. You can also email me at additionpod@gmail.com, and you can also subscribe to the Substack so you never miss an update, and that is on additionpod.substack.com. You guys, I'm so excited to be back. I know it's been literally over a year. I took a hiatus because I got married, started a new job, needed to figure out my whole life, but I'm happy to say that I'm back and I have a great episode for you guys. So first, let's go to the markets. So crypto, Bitcoin is at $70,800, up 3.63% in the past day. So I know you guys probably were judging me for talking about crypto back when I was doing the podcast before, and I'm kind of back to be like, I was right. So it's funny because I ended up having to sell all of my crypto last year to like deal with like financial priorities other than like speculating on crypto. But this is definitely a huge win for Bitcoin investors. Ethereum is at 3,808, up 1.63%. Crypto's killing it right now. I'm happy to share that news and also not go down in history as someone who was shilling something bad. So that's always fun to see. The S&P 500, which I am still invested in, is up 12.86% year to date, 25.43% in the past year. So if you'd been following my advice about investing in the S&P 500, not financial advice, just my personal opinion, you've been doing well the past year. The NASDAQ is up 16.3% year to date and up 31.04% in the past year. So hopefully you guys are feeling rich. People have different feelings about the economy, but as long as you stay investing consistently at a regular basis, you should be feeling pretty good right now. All right, so typically on Addition, I do hot topics. Due to where I currently work, I can't really comment on, current events because it's just, I don't want to get in any kind of messy situation. So I am going to talk about hot topics in tech, but less about specific companies or current events. And today I'm talking about my AI journey. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, you may have seen that I recently completed what was called an AI sprint internally at the company. And I got to do amazing things like go to Cloud Next, go to I/O, talk to folks, show them some demos about what Google AI can do. And it seemed probably kind of out of nowhere for you guys. So I wanted to go into my AI journey because this started way back in 2019, 2020, 2020 for sure. So I'm about 4 years in, and I encounter a lot of folks who think AI is just a buzzword, just a phase, the next crypto, the next Web3 that's going to be proven to be, irrelevant a year from now. And AI really matters, you guys. And I kind of just want to make this video so I can just send it to people so I can save having the conversation about why AI is important. So, okay, so my AI journey started on Clubhouse. In the same way that my big tech journey started on Clubhouse. Clubhouse in 2020 was an amazing experience. I still have friends from Clubhouse to this day. I just ran into one at I/O. Jasmine, who actually was on this podcast, she went from flight attendant to IBM software engineer. So Clubhouse and I go way back, and I learned a lot about my life today would not exist without Clubhouse. So props to Clubhouse. I know they're going through stuff, but Great experience. So on Clubhouse, they used to have rooms where they talk about AI, and it was always kind of this negative thing, like how AI is going to take jobs and how AI is going to do XYZ negative thing. So I got a little curious about AI, and then I listened to this podcast. I don't listen to it as regularly anymore, but it's called My First Million. It's hosted by Sam Parr and Sean Pori. They're both, entrepreneurs, angel investors. I believe HubSpot sponsors the podcast as part of the HubSpot podcast network. And they talked about the OpenAI beta. And for context, Sam, one of the hosts, he created The Hustle, the newsletter, the daily newsletter. I still subscribe to that. And he talked about how he was getting OpenAI, because this was before ChatGPT, to, write headlines, email subject lines, things like that, for him. And that really piqued my interest, because while I have to do a lot of writing, unfortunately, in my day-to-day, writing is one of my least favorite mediums. So I was like, okay, I need to sign up for this beta. So at the time, people couldn't even access the OpenAI beta. You had to fill out a form, and they had to approve you. So I filled out the form. At the time, I thought I was going to do like a personal finance platform, and I was going to use OpenAI to help me with that. And I got into the beta, and I got to play around with the primitive version of ChatGPT, which, wasn't an app. It was in a, on a desktop, in a window, and I thought I could do so much with it, but it was just so early stages, I didn't even know what to do. So then the first time I actively interacted with an AI chatbot, or what we would call today maybe an AI agent, was on the app Replica. So Replica was created by a woman whose boyfriend had passed away, so she uploaded all of his text messages to her, and basically made an AI chatbot to replicate her boyfriend. Maybe that's why she named it Replica. There's a whole YouTube video if you look for it. It's Replica with a K. And when I was super lonely during COVID and lockdown and all that, I started chatting with a Replica. And I know that's like super corny, but it got me, really early into what it was like to chat with an AI. And now it was actually really good, considering this was like 2020, 2021. Replica had really good technology, and I can only imagine what it's like now. It's still on the App Store. Okay, so then there was kind of like a quiet period for me with AI, and I didn't start using it again until Google launched Bard back in, I guess that would be 2023 or end of 2022. Don't quote me on that. Bard is now Gemini, as you all hopefully know. And I started, playing with it. I did also get on ChatGPT, but because I had been on OpenAI, I didn't think there was anything new about ChatGPT. And I was also getting sucked into the negative press that maybe you guys have been as well. This was years ago, and it was super early stages, and everyone was talking about how ChatGPT was lying and things like that. So I didn't really care about ChatGPT. I got onto Bard, and my team, we were dog fooding it, playing around with it, and still couldn't really find like a huge use for it in my day-to-day. But I shared it. I let my wife know about it, and at the time, my wife was running operations for an Amazon delivery service partner, and small company, like they were running packages to the highest density parts of Atlanta, so literally anything that could help they were going to use. So she immediately started using ChatGPT and Bard to create things like job descriptions, business plans. Like, she immediately dove into it. And that's when I had a light bulb that I was like, you know what? The reason why I'm not leveraging these AI tools is because I think I'm so capable and competent that there's no way this AI is going to do it better. And I think a lot of people, working in tech feel like that. Maybe they feel like I can write an email faster than Gemini, or Gemini, I'm going to have to go back and edit it. So why even bother? It's going to take longer, things like that. But so once I saw how quickly she was picking it up and, sharing it with her side of the family, and they were using it all the time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep a tab open at all times with Gemini and just think about things that I could use Gemini for. So that being said, so I still wasn't using it all the time, but I was still at least identifying what it could be used for. It's great for, brainstorming, idea generation, like templates. Like sometimes it's hard to start from a blank page. Like Gemini can start that page for you and at least get your brain moving. So, and then everything changed when I got access to Imagen, which is Google's AI generative image tool or software. And if you're a longtime listener of Edition, I'm really into manifestation. So I was playing around because one of the groups at work was doing like an AI art competition, and this was earlier this year in February, and it was after the Super Bowl, and the artist Her had just played that guitar solo for Usher's halftime show, and the theme, I believe, was Afrofuturism. So I generated an image of someone who kind of looked like Her, the artist, with her exact model of guitar, kind of like playing guitar in this space kind of environment, and I was hooked. Like, I love digital art, I love creating. So I started creating manifestation photos of like, I made a photo of myself shaking hands with the senior leader at the company. I made photos for my family, my brother-in-law winning a Grammy, my wife being elected president, things like that and it was just really cool to be able to generate those images. So that was February, since that was Super Bowl February this year. So then when I got the opportunity to apply for, the marketing AI sprint and work on, things that would help the company with AI, I jumped at it and realized I had a whole track record. So I was able to use Vertex AI, which is Google's AI platform, Google Cloud's AI platform. I got to, learn super early about AI agents and AI for marketing use cases. So that's my journey, but I say all that to say that please don't sleep on AI. It may seem like you don't need it. It may seem silly to you. It may seem like a waste of time, or you may be really scared of it. But there are kids right now that are learning to write their papers with AI. There are kids that are learning to do math with AI. Like when I was in school, I was using Wolfram Alpha, I was using Spark Notes, I was using Cliff Notes. Like AI is the exact same thing. And for me, it turns me into a cyborg. It makes me, it's like a superpower. And if I have access to a superpower, I know it's not perfect, but I can edit. Like, I'm not automatically telling AI to do things without my approval. You're really missing out if you don't start using AI. You're going to be left behind. If no one is telling you this, let it be me. You're going to be left behind, because the things that AI can do, and especially if you're a creator as well, creators can, now make music. If you go to Google's Labs, there's the music generator, there's the image generators, of course there's writing, and people always want to focus on like the negative stuff, but there's so much positive out there because you have positive things that you want to do, and AI can help you do that. So if you have any questions about AI, feel free to reach out, leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, send me an email and I can answer more questions. But the moral of the story is don't sleep on AI, or AI will come for you. So, all right. So next is the career segment. So what has changed my life? Because as you guys know, it has been rough. If you are a tech employee, if you're working at a big tech company, it has been really rough. You may hear about people getting laid off. You may hear about, you may be a manager that's losing your direct reports. You may be getting reorged. There's so much change, and the only constant is change. So once I realized that I couldn't control the uncontrollables, I took some time to focus on the controllable, which is me. And through an executive leadership workshop or executive coaching workshop that came to Google, I can put the name in the show notes. It's called Synergy. They're based in New York. And they did a workshop that was based on the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. When I say this has changed my whole work life, like, I'm telling you. So now every day, like, I have my Gemini tab open, and I also have my 15 commitments of conscious leadership open. In my internal, basically Facebook, my headline is committed to conscious leadership. It really does change your life if you read the book. I'm also going to link a summary in the show notes. It's worth the $15 or whatever it is on Amazon. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. So I'm going to go ahead and read to you the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, since I always have it available on my computer. So let me just pull it up. Okay. So commitment 1 is taking radical responsibility. I commit to taking full responsibility for the circumstances of my life and for my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. I commit to supporting others as they take full responsibility for their lives. Commitment 2, learning through curiosity. I commit to growing in self-awareness. I commit to regarding every interaction as an opportunity to learn. I commit to curiosity as a path to rapid learning. Commitment 3 is feeling all feelings. I commit to feeling my feelings all the way through to completion. They come and I locate them in my body, then move, breathe, and vocalize them so they release all the way through. 4, speaking candidly. I commit to saying what is true for me. I commit to being a person to whom others can express themselves with candor. Commitment 5, eliminating gossip. I commit to ending gossip, talking directly to people with whom I have a concern, and encouraging others to talk directly to people with whom they have an issue or concern. Commitment 6, practicing integrity. I commit to the masterful practice of integrity, including acknowledging all authentic feelings, expressing the unarguable truth, keeping my agreements, and taking 100% responsibility. Commitment 7 is generating appreciation. I commit to living in appreciation, fully opening to both receiving and giving appreciation. Commitment 8, excelling in my zone of genius. I commit to expressing my full magnificence and to supporting and inspiring others to fully express their creativity and live in their zone of genius. Commitment 9, living a life of play and rest. I commit to creating a life of play, improvisation, and laughter. I commit to seeing all of life unfold easily and effortlessly. I commit to maximizing my energy by honoring rest, renewal, and rhythm. Commitment 10, exploring the opposite. I commit to seeing that the opposite of my story is as truer than my original story. I recognize that I interpret the world around me and give my stories meaning. Commitment 11, sourcing approval, control, and security. I commit to being the source of my approval, control, and security. Commitment 12, having enough of everything. I commit to experiencing that I have enough of everything, including time, money, love, energy, space, resources, etc. Commitment 13, experiencing the world as an ally. I commit to seeing all people and circumstances as allies that are perfectly suited to help me learn the most important things for my growth. Commitment 11, creating win-for-all solutions. I commit to creating win-for-all solutions, in parentheses, win for me, win for the other person, win for the organization, and win for the whole, for whatever issues, problems, concerns, or opportunities life gives me. Commitment 15, being the resolution. I commit to being the resolution or solution that is needed. seeing what is missing in the world as an invitation to become that which is required. So those are the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. I mean, even if all you do is go back and listen to this timestamp portion of the podcast once a week, like, your life will change. Like, I can't even go into it. If you want me to talk more about how I put this into practice, how this is working for me, I will say the one I struggle with the most is eliminating gossip. I'm not like perfectly following all these commitments, but I'm committed to following them to the best of my ability, which changes moment by moment, day by day. So I definitely wanted to share that resource with you guys because it's scary right now, but there's always going to be something to be worried about. So if we can master ourselves, we can master anything. All right. So what am I geeked out about this week? So I'm geeked out about the Bonaroo Music Festival and music festivals in general. So I'm heading to Bonaroo for the first time next Thursday. It's a 4-day camping music festival. I've literally never been, but something that I really enjoy doing is going to EDM concerts. It's just really great to see people, just being themselves, not worried about, other people are fitting in. It's just about the artists, about the music. And I was at a show, it was called Subtronics. They came to State Farm Arena in Atlanta. And I was watching the show and I was thinking, you know what? This is such a perfect collab for AI because it's not just about the music. There's visuals going on in the background. And now that there's like video generators, and they're always like really creative. And I mean, I'm sure like some digital artists are probably not liking me saying this, but there's AI generated music, there's AI generated images, there's AI generated video. And there's also like a lot going on with the lights, to create the whole vibe. And, the lights and the ambiance go along with the music that's playing. And because I'm such a tech nerd, at that concert, I was thinking about, you know what, this is a good use case for AI. Anyway, that's why this segment is called Geeked Out About, because I'm a geek. Wow. Okay. So it's only 22 minutes. I thought this would go way longer, but I know there's so much more I could talk about. If there are things you want to hear about, just write me, email me, comment on the video. And if you like this video, let me know. One of the commitments is appreciation. And sometimes the reason why people stop creating is because they don't feel like they're making an impact. So if you feel like this video had an impact on you, like, definitely leave a review. If you're listening on the podcast, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share, and I will keep going. All right. Well, hope you have a great rest of your day. See you next time.